Welcome to World of Monsters. I'm Monster Master Arthur, and this week's sketch of the week is the Wendigo, and that was a request by Hunter Z Remix. So thank you, Hunter Z Remix, a great suggestion. And before I get into deep with this sketch here, I just want to state real quick that I will be doing a very short and fast review of the latest King Kong Skull Island movie. As I mentioned in the previous videos, if you guys wanted to hear that, and I believe Beer was the one that mentioned that he would like to hear it. So thank you, Beer, and be sure to check out Nick's channel, Beer. He's been really supportive of this channel as we are of his. We saw the latest King Kong movie in 3D, and that was excellent. So I suggest if you have the opportunity, or if you have certain days that are half priced or cheaper, go 3D on this movie because it is worth it. The effects, it's mostly CGI effects, are excellent. The filming took place in Halong Bay, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, 7 natural wonders, and that's in northern Vietnam. And I've actually been there and visited and had an overnight cruise that took place around those majestic, amazing looking mountains and islands. Now, just real quick nitpicky things that I noticed in the movie. At the start of the movie, when King Kong is first introduced to the screen, I have to say he appeared much bigger. Let me know what you think, and keep in mind there's going to be spoilers here. If you don't want to hear spoilers, then skip forward to the part of the video where I continue talking about the sketch, although this is going to be really kind of short and quick. So that's what I kind of noticed. Let me know what you guys think. Did you notice that? Is it true, or is it just my delusion? The whole thing that King Kong appeared bigger at the beginning of the movie than he did later on, where he made his first appearance to make it more dramatic, to make him take down the helicopters and all that. It seems like they made him look bigger. Next thing I noticed about the movie, aside from the monsters, were the actors, and there was nothing too special about it. I like the main actor, the protagonist, which is Loki, the actor that played Loki in the Thor and Avenger movies. But what I sort of realized after I finished the whole movie was there wasn't much heroism. He's supposed to be the skilled pathfinder, but they never really push that idea and show it and, well, glamorize it just a little bit so that you feel like, pay attention to this guy is the real source here. It just wasn't all there, so that was a little bit of a negative for me, as I'm not talking necessarily doing a movie with the crazy great heroes like the 80s movies with the Arnolds and Sylvester Stallones, although those were fun to watch and they were memorable because of that fact too, but just, a bit more depth on that character. When they first introduced him, they introduced him in a powerful way where he's fighting off guys while playing a game of pool, billiards. But later on, we don't see anything spectacular about that character, nor in the acting or characteristics of anybody else. There isn't much drama. At some points, they sort of cry. The main female character, they cry, and it seems a little out of place. There's not enough drama put in to make you really feel emotion, but you still see the tears. So I think they could have gone a bit more in depth on the storyline and all that. But you know how things are. Everything's for short attention spans now, and they just push that action in CGI. Which is fine, but push the storyline as well for the more experienced critics and moviegoers out there. So I didn't feel much drama or emotion in the movie as, for example, in the older movies, although that was criticized as well. The greatest actors, I would have to say Samuel L. Jackson. I know there's a lot of fans of him, and what was his role? Well, he was him. He was Samuel L. Jackson. Badass and everything. But he played it off well. I mean, you actually had an emotion for that character. You had a feeling. And it wasn't a positive feeling, you hated him, but you had a feeling. And that's what actors need to do. They need to invoke feeling within you. And also the other actor was the comedic actor, which he was somewhere on a comedic side, maybe a little bit too much for the role to make it really realistic, but he evoked some kind of feeling as well. Can't remember if there's anything else I wanted to mention, so if I do, I'll add that in later, or maybe in the comments section below where we can continue this discussion. The monsters overall were awesome, very well done stuff, and I'm happy to see what goes on with these movies, as yes, at the end, after the credits, spoilers, if you don't want to hear this, skip 20 seconds ahead. Okay, they mentioned, well, they showed the rock paintings, yeah, like cave paintings of Godzilla and all those Godzilla Monsterverse monsters like Mothra and stuff. So we know that's going to be coming up, and that's going to be exciting. So back to the Wendigo. The Wendigo, I went with the more legendary / historic look of the Wendigo, not the popular one. That's just the one with the antler heads and the antler skull head, because that just seemed like a really cool concept that somebody came up with, and then a bunch of people copied it with their artwork. But if you look at the original Wendigo, it's more of a zombie kind of stretched skin over bones appearance with tiny sunken in eyes, and that's what I tried to convey, the beady eyes and that. But I'm not too impressed with my work, and I even considered redoing it or canceling it, but this is what this is all about. It's all about practice and showing you guys that nobody's perfect, and that's why I wanted to put this on for the record. And I gave him this sort of dimension that his leg is closer, top of the body a little further, because he does get tall, he does get big. The Wendigo is never fully satisfied with food, with his hunger, because everything he eats, he gets to the weight and size of that meal, so he keeps needing more, or it. So I tried to convey that size, but what I missed out is the real nasty, scary character, and that's what I wanted to convey. So that's why I zoomed in as I'm working on this, and I just kind of left the other parts unfinished, and that's really what I should have worked on, is a more zoomed in aspect of this character, the Wendigo, on the bust rather than a zoomed out. But I guess this works too. This is just more of a concept art approach for like video games and such, and stories. But I wanted to get the bones. For example, I even included a little bone popping out of from the back behind the shoulder there. But I wanted to show that more, how that skin is actually stretched and how some bones actually stick out and all that, and how this creature is so terrifying and undead. Since I didn't feel like I reached my full potential within this, well, short-time sketch, feel welcome to request another take or drawing of the Wendigo. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot again in a different look, possibly. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and until next time, you've been watching Monstrous Sketch of the Week, only at World of Monsters.